Okay, guys, so the first review we're going to be doing here is for the so-called Konami Tournament Legal Sleeves. Now, we pointed them out in the last video. We have the Elemental Hero card sleeves here with these card sleeves. They're going to be functionally the same as these. Now, Konami prints a lot of sleeves that have really nice artwork and stuff on them. And so I have one of my decks here. It's my Yusei Synchron deck that I've sleeved up in Konami branded sleeves. And I just wanted to kind of demonstrate to you guys, looking at the sleeves. It's a relatively new pack of them, but in terms of shuffle feel, hand feel, ability to kind of work within your constraints there, just so that you can have a good idea of what we're working for. So immediately starting out, like one thing that you want to look for when you're shuffling sleeves is to be very, very cognizant of whether or not they're going to catch on the edges like this. So your edges, where you're going to shuffle, is going to make sure that your cards are staying like really, really nice over here. And if you're pushing your cards too far into each other, or they're catching on the side of the sleeve, guys, then the edge wear is going to come off, and it's going to make the sleeves harder to shuffle. You may get in trouble at tournaments, or at worst, you might even damage some of your cards. And so, understanding how to shuffle is one thing, but also picking the correct kind of sleeve is completely another thing. So these Konami sleeves, I will say, guys, are, they have a very, very short shelf life in comparison to some other sleeves. So you see me just trying to lightly shuffle and fan these sleeves out, and it's having trouble kind of catching the sleeve center here. You see the cards fall down like that. Now, most other shuffling, like you're gonna actually be able to see it work quite well. But with these guys, even if we were to take it from this end, it is very tough to kind of shuffle them properly. And so if a lot of players are just, you're just trying to jam your cards in, you see how it's catching like this. It's not going in all of the way. And these Konami sleeves, even worse, have been known to sometimes split here in the center. And then you're pushing your card into your other cards. And so, like, let's say you got a really, really nice card. It's a collector piece, or it's got sentimental value because, a good friend who moved away gave it to you. And then you're just pushing the card in like that. It's not going to work out well, and it's not going to be good for you. And so what I wanted to do, guys, was to kind of showcase you the shuffle feel of these Konami sleeves. You just have a good idea of why I don't recommend purchasing them. However, one thing that's good, though, is that these sleeves fit in very well, luckily with the perfect fit sleeves and the your over sleeves, from what people have told me. So I'm looking forward to kind of testing that out. But the idea is, what people have said is that, you really like the art on the Konami sleeve. So if you want to use your Konami sleeves, finding a great undersleeve or oversleeve could be a good way to continue to protect your cards as you use those sleeves, or as you play in more and more tournaments. One thing I will note is that Konami now allows double sleeving, but not triple sleeving. So you may see me triple sleeve a deck, but it would only be for showcasing to you guys, I guess, like, a more casual deck that I own, rather than something super, super competitive. But I will showcase you guys some of these sleeves as well. The point being, guys, that I have these sleeves in here because you want to make sure that your cards are protected as possible. And these Konami sleeves here are not going to do it. But, this Dark Magician art is really, really nice, guys, and I like it, But when you got this art on the top of the sleeves like this, because they're pretty cheaply made, it's very easy for this art to scuff. And so you want to use perhaps like an oversleeve or something like that to make sure that those cards stay protected. It's the same thing for all of these Konami sleeves as well. Alternatively, companies like Dragon Shield and others have sleeves that have art that do not sacrifice your shuffle feel or ability to shuffle. So that's another thing to look into should you want it. But this is kind of a review of these Konami store-bought, Walmart, Target, whatever kind of stores like GameStop sleeves that Konami themselves makes. But you guys are going to want to stick away from these sleeves. I'm telling you, it's just not worth it to get them. It's better to go to your local game store to ask questions, look for Japanese size sleeves, and use them for your cards as opposed to the ones that Konami sells at retail. So that's it for the review of the Konami sleeves, guys, and we're going to move on to our next sleeve review. See ya.